let's go to the tail of the tape for our third fight of the pay-per-view card. Mitch Clarke, both of these guys 24 years old. Brandon MacArthur with a 6-pound weight advantage. They both stand 5'10". And of course, Mitch Clarke, as we mentioned, 5-0 so far in his MMA career.
Okay, gentlemen, you're both aware of the rules. Remember to listen to my commands at all times, and remember to protect yourself at all times. Fight clean, fight hard, touch them up, come out on the bell.
All right, here we go. Third fight, and still a bunch of great fights to go here at TFC 10 High Octane. We've got undefeated Mitch Clarke in the white trunks. And in the pink trunks, Brandon the Primate MacArthur from Cranbrook, British Columbia. And they'll come out here, as we mentioned, Mitch Clarke unbeaten in his MMA career.
MacArthur's got sweet trunks. Those are deadly.
They're hard on the eyes.
No. Depends whose eyes. Those are hot trunks, man. Well, both fighters feeling each other out in this first round here. MacArthur, of course, his experience is definitely going to come into play, and I didn't know he could do that. That was a nice jumping, spinning Jean-Claude Van Damme type of move.
He's got those legs going. There was another kick, and a good job by Mitch Clarke to kind of tie him up a little bit and pin him back against the cage. And now we'll see what happens here as Brandon MacArthur will likely...
Well, what's going to happen here is now you're about to watch Mitch Clarke. This is what Mitch Clarke does. He is a wrestler, and now he's working the BJJ with Kyle Cardinal. I'll tell you right now, MacArthur probably not desperately, but he's concentrating very closely to right now the movement of Mitch Clarke. He knows that the takedown's coming, so he has to prepare for it and defend against it wisely.
So he's essentially almost got to try to be a step ahead, is what you're saying.
That's a good, yeah. You know what that is? That's exactly what it has to be. He has to be a step ahead, and he has to avoid this takedown, because when it comes, he's going to get smothered, and it's going to be Mitch Clarke for the entire first round, and that is a good job, MacArthur.
It looked as though Clarke was going to throw him down, but he didn't. MacArthur managed to stay on his feet, and now he's doing a little bit of damage inside with those knees, or at least attempting to. But so far, it is Mitch Clarke who's essentially determining the tempo of this fight. It looked as though MacArthur was going to attempt a takedown there, but he thought better and decided not to.
Well, MacArthur's doing a good job right now using his leverage, and whatever leverage that is, but there's Mitch Clarke. He's slowly inching his way up. He's nice clinch work right here. He's doing some modest damage to the legs and to the abdominal area of MacArthur. MacArthur's just holding on, does not want to get taken down, and you can see the desperation right now. And he's doing such a great job. Great balance.
Unbelievable that he hasn't been taken down yet. Mitch Clarke doing everything he can, but Brandon MacArthur now he goes down, and Mitch Clarke slams him to the ground. And now it'll be interesting to see what Mitch Clarke tries to do from this position. See a guy who will attempt to just start throwing shots, or is he going to try to wrestle you down and then submission?
That's a good question. You know what? This will be my first time ever watching Mitch Clarke fight live. I've never seen him fight personally. However, the majority of his fights, they've been very successful, of course, being undefeated.
Yes.
And out of his, majority of his wins here, they all either come by guillotine choke and arm bars and submission. He has a TKO win as well, so you may see the ground and pound victory here. I don't think he'll get it in the first round. We're already going into the second minute, or pardon me, 2 minutes left.
Attempting to do some damage. He attempted to throw some elbows there. They didn't really do anything to Brandon MacArthur. Now MacArthur trying to get around, but a good job here by Mitch Clarke, just proving how much of a superior wrestler he is than to Brandon MacArthur. And he's essentially controlled this fight. He's going to get back up now and attempt to throw a couple of shots. There comes a couple of heavy rights. And MacArthur looking like he's getting a little tired, and it is tiring when you're defending a great wrestler like Mitch Clarke. It starts to wear on you a little bit.
It's definitely presenting itself here in this fight. MacArthur, though, his experience is going to come through. I believe he may be able to sneak into the second round, but I've yet to see again Mitch Clarke fight live, and I don't know what's going to be happening right now. I do know with his background, he may look for a submission here, but I believe he's going to soften up MacArthur with the ground and pound, slowly work away on him, develop some injury, and you know what, head into the second round and probably the fresher fighter.
This first round has been all Mitch Clarke. We talked about the energy used up by Brandon MacArthur so far. For the first 2 minutes of this fight, he was just fighting the takedown, and that uses up. Might not look like it because he's pinned up against the cage, but that's a lot of effort to avoid that takedown from Mitch Clarke. And now Mitch Clarke, nope, his elbow. Attempting to use the elbows to do a little bit of damage. Nothing really showing yet on Brandon MacArthur, but this round is clearly huge advantage.
Oh, it may not be showing physically. Like, you may not see the
Yeah.
blood and you may not see the bruising. However, MacArthur right now has definitely been the receiving end of some damage. I can guarantee you right now his body's getting stiff from the amount of blows he's been taking throughout this round. And you know what? There's 35 seconds left still to go. And that's enough to inflict some damage. Of course, Mitch Clarke's been putting those short elbows in there and driving the elbow into the face. I mean, that causes damage. He may not have to strike with that elbow, but just the pressure of having that kind of velocity with the elbow. Just
Work to
sticking
finish,
into your
guys.
forehead.
Work to
I think that's
finish.
going to take some damage. It takes a toll.
Especially when you get 2, 3, or 4 coming in like they have since he threw him down onto the mat and just been relentless. And now he's going to try to have a little bit of a flurry here with just 10 seconds left. See if Mitch Clarke can open up Brandon MacArthur. He's attempting to.
Well, like I said, Dustin, you know what? Those 35 seconds left will be enough to inflict some damage. And as I said, there was almost 30 strikes connected in those 30 seconds. That was almost a strike per second.
Attempting to catch a second wind. We'll see if he's got it. Clarke, MacArthur, round 2, TFC 10, High Octane. I'm Dustin Nielsen. Of course, joined ringside here by Chris LaBelle. And back inside the cage, back into second round action. And MacArthur, once again, as we saw at the beginning, of the first round, MacArthur tried to use those kicks to keep Clarke at bay, but eventually Clarke was able to get in there. Oh, and a spinning back elbow by Brandon MacArthur. That one was a huge move. We saw him try a couple of those earlier.
That one knocked the pink shorts right off of MacArthur. And they may want to, you know what, I have seen in the past referees stop that to help position and fix the shorts. But we may have the first naked fighter here in Canadian history on our pay-per-view. Wow.
He's the funny guy, Chris LaBelle.
I am kind of funny.
Now, once again, if you look at this, a bad position here for Brandon MacArthur.
Sitting this close, I mean, the impact of Mitch Clarke's shots are the thunder and the vibration coming from the cage to our table right now is unbevillable.
And now
Mitch
he's going to
Clarke
try
is
to lock
lethal.
it in. He's going to try to lock it in. MacArthur's in some
That's
trouble.
a nasty choke. MacArthur he's hurt. MacArthur's hurt.
Mitch Clarke improves to 6-0. And he plays it up to the crowd here. Why not? 6-0 in front of the hometown fans here at the Fight Club, TFC 10. And a couple of heavy shots from Brandon MacArthur, or on Brandon MacArthur. And then he started to scramble. And just like that, Mitch Clarke picks up yet another victory in his young MMA career. Let's take a look at the replay. There's that spinning back elbow, and it led to the takedown. It ended up being the nemesis of Brandon MacArthur. But hey, when you're getting dominated, you got to try something. And he took him down, and then this is where he's able to get his back, get that arm locked in there, and that literally lights out for Brandon MacArthur, as you'll see the tap from the crowd here eating up the youngster, Mitch Clarke, 24 years old, and now 6-0 in MMA action. And I will say this, 3 wins, now 4 wins by submission for the Edmonton Kid. Let's send it inside the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vern Gorman stops us about at 1 minute 14 seconds of round number 2 after Brandon MacArthur taps out due to rear naked choke. Your winner by tap out, Mitch Clarke!
Mitch Clarke very happy with his effort.